Alrighty guys, I wanted to show you a quick little video here of a board I found today. Came into me. You can see it actually had a lot of water damage on the board and the housing. It's actually rusted up. To me, it actually looked more like maybe salt water. I've never seen this kind of rust in these things before, but this board was definitely rusted up. So the board came in, had rust all around the edges. All in this area. Put a new battery in here. Connector was rusted up. Cleaned that up. The USB ports actually are still rather, can't really get a good look in there, but they do have some corrosion on them. I did not replace them. I cleaned them out real well, scraped them out the best I could, but they do work very well, so I just left them as is. But when this thing first came to me today, it showed no signs of power, or that's what the description was. Now, when I plugged it in, I just plugged it in, tested it out. The first time I plugged it in, it came on by itself. I plugged it in with the power, it immediately turned on, started going through the CD-ROM started moving. I heard the disc in there, heard the fans boot up. Plugged it into the TV, HDMI, came on, started working. So okay. Turned it off, went to do something else, came back, wouldn't turn on. Had no idea. Could not quite understand why it would turn on the very first time I plugged it in, but it wouldn't turn on anytime after. So I took it apart, found all the water damage. Now this unit has never been opened. I pulled the seals myself, and found all the water damage. Said, okay, that makes sense. Then something kind of weird is going on in here. So started looking through all the boards, parts. Looking for different things. I could not find anything that was actually wrong. Just blaringly wrong. But it came on and it was working the very first time. So that's kind of what was throwing me for a loop. If it was, say, Southbridge, it wouldn't come on at all. It would be dead. It would not come on and then stop and then come on and stop. So had to have been something relatively easy. Went through the board again, looking, seeing if I could find any shorts. Honestly, I couldn't find anything. So put it all back together. Nothing. Nothing at all. No power, no anything. Could not quite understand it. So I started messing with the CD-ROM. Because I actually noticed the cable right here was damaged. They actually get damaged pretty easily if you pull it out without pressing the clip down to remove it. This is, of course, the 1001A PS4. I believe that's the launch version, the very first version, I believe. So the cable was bad, and it was all plugged up. Power was in it, it was plugged in, and I was messing with the cable, kind of wiggling it around, and it started beeping, giving me the eject beep. Beep, 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 beep. I said, wait a minute, that makes no sense. Started messing with the cable, Couldn't quite understand it. Kept beeping, but that's all I would get. Thought, well, if it's beeping, it's getting power, it's alive. Can't be Southbridge, because it is getting the beeps. Power, no power. Couldn't quite understand it. Dang it. So I put a new cable in. New cable. Nothing. Wouldn't do anything. There was a disc in it. I took it out, took it apart, took it out, put it all back together again, put a disc in, turned on, recognized the disc, pulled the disc in, turned on, started working. Just started working, just like that. So, wait a minute, what's going on? Not getting any kind of eject button. It's on, the system's on, but there's no eject. There's no power. I'm not getting any kind of power. When I press the power button, nothing. So maybe that sounds similar to sounds similar to Southbridge. But I'm getting working USB ports. I had what else? Yeah, so I didn't think it couldn't be Southbridge. If I have USB ports, unless maybe some kind of half-shorted Southbridge, I wasn't quite sure. So I started looking at the board a little bit more, and I did realize that this was working, except it wasn't getting no power. It wasn't getting any eject button. So, if you put common sense together, both of these are the same little input types. Capacitive touch, I guess. Capacitive is probably the incorrect term, but they sense you touching them. And if both of those aren't working, but everything else seems to work just fine, you kind of put common sense, use your common sense, and come up with an answer. So, of course, I started checking all the little capacitors and chips and whatnot around it, and sure enough, the two little caps that are directly right near it, it's kind of hard for you to see, have crappy lighting and shitty camera, but there's definitely two little caps right there. Pretty hard to see though. So those two caps were of course shorted. Flip the board over, start checking in the same general vicinity, and sure enough, you have a touch IC right here. I forget what the chip number was, but it's a touch IC. It controls basically those type of inputs. These two inputs right there, it controls those two. So I figure that's probably shorted too. Let's go ahead and remove that IC. It's the what is this? It is Mary 8 Edward Baker. So it's Sam Thomas Mary 8 Edward Baker. It doesn't really give you a name for it. It just kind of calls it out as that. I did find an all data sheet that said it's touch sensing, resonance, something or another. I don't really know exactly, to be honest. So, but went ahead and removed that first one. Checked the shorts on the other caps. They were still shorted out too. No big deal. I grabbed another one of these off of a donor board. This board, I believe, was the launch release. This was 1001A or 1008. I'm not sure, but the board number is SAA-001. I didn't actually have but one other donor board. All my donor boards are 1115s or above for some reason. I don't have any of the older ones. Just I happen to have the one other one laying around, like back in a scrap pile somewhere. I grabbed that out, and sure enough, had that chip on there. So I removed it, popped it on there, flipped it over, removed those other two caps that were shot on that side, and booted it up just by pressing the power button. Came right on. Everything worked great. So using a little bit of common sense and just probing around the board and general vicinity. Now, like I said, there was water damage all the way around the board. This whole battery and area was corroded. A lot of these components you can actually, I don't know if you can make it out. You see a little brownish. That was corrosion. Now, I cleaned it off as best I could. It should stop. It shouldn't. I do not think it'll continue rusting, but I don't know. I told the guy on this one, probably no warranty on this, my friend, since it did have water damage. But I tested it. I ran it for a full day. It should be just fine for quite a while. I don't think, I wouldn't go through this whole board replacing every single cap that had damage or coils or whatnot that had water damage on it. I didn't see any major, I mean, I looked close. There's no crustiness in anywhere. It just kind of got right there somehow on the superficial looking. So I think it's just cosmetic. I don't think it's actually functionalities messed with anyhow. I think they should definitely be good to go for quite a while. So guys, if you have any problems with these particular, I'm going to say it once again, it's probably wrong, but I'm going to leave it at that, capacitive type touching. It senses your finger, you know. If you have that, more than likely you're going to have an issue in that particular area. Now, on the 1115 boards, like I was saying, 1115A or whatnot, where'd my board go? Here it is. The 1115A, they've completely removed the chip. It's gone. The chip and all the capacitors are just gone. I didn't take it off. I didn't pull it off. That's factory. They took it out. And more than likely, if you follow the lines, you will see that it leads straight to your south bridge. So more than likely now the south bridge controls that capacitive type touch, whatever. I'm going to leave it at capacitive again. Capacitive type touch is controlled more than likely now with your south bridge, along with multiple other things on your board, of course. Southbridge controls now that touch function. It controls hard drive input, any kind of USB inputs. What else? USB, power buttons. Oh yeah. Touch. Okay, so I know Southbridge controls. Yeah, Southbridge has always controlled input output, like power buttons. I wonder. What I'm trying to say is, I know the Southbridge controls any kind of user input on 1115 and above. On the 1001A, I wonder if the Southbridge actually controls input output, like power button and eject button, since it has their own chip on this particular board. I haven't worked on a whole lot of these older ones, the 1001A, so I don't know for sure. I wonder if that's a good thing to remember. I'm going to put that in the back of my mind, because like I said, on 1115 and above, your Southbridge controls the power button, the eject button, USB ports. It controls all that. I wonder if, since this has its actual own touch chip, does the Southbridge control power button and eject button on these older boards? That's something to definitely keep in mind. I don't see too many 1001s, but I'm definitely keep that in mind. So, alrighty guys, thank you for watching. I just wanted to kind of show you that. It was a tricky issue for me. I've never actually seen that one, and maybe that is because I haven't worked on a whole lot of the older boards. Normally, if a device comes in and it's completely powerless, and you know the power supply is good and everything, the board is actually good, there's no physical damage or anything like that, first thing I usually try is to just swap that Southbridge, because the Southbridge controls your user input. If the Southbridge goes bad and you won't have a power button when you hit the power button, or eject when you hit the eject button. So if I usually get a board that has no power, no signs of life, and you definitely have a good power supply and whatnot, first thing I'll do is I'll just go ahead and swap that Southbridge, and I don't know, I'll say 6-7 times out of 10 it's Southbridge. So alright guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye.